Jesus is coming back. The rapture is beginning, and there are three signs that are happening right now. Sign number one, the signs in the sky. On August 12, 2026, a total eclipse will cross parts of the world. And this isn't the only unusual sign that we've seen recently. The Bible warns that signs in the sky would appear before the great day of the Lord. Joel 2:31 says, "The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come." Jesus told us to watch for these signs, and these signs are a warning to wake us up. Sign number two, extreme heat and fires. Look at what's going on right now. California is fighting wildfires while extreme heat is hitting the western United States. And it's not just here in America. Spain and other parts of Europe are also facing intense heat and dangerous wildfires. Homes are being destroyed. Families are being evacuated. People are watching the sky filled with smoke and wondering, how much worse can this get? Jesus warned us to watch the signs of the last days. And sign number three, judgment has begun in God's house. God says, all manner of disasters will befall one after another. All nations and places will experience calamities, plague, famine, flood, drought, and earthquakes are everywhere. These disasters are not just happening in one or two places, nor will they be over within a day or two. Rather, instead, they will expand across a greater and greater area and become more and more severe. During this time, all manner of insect plagues will arise one after another, and the phenomenon of cannibalism will occur everywhere. This is my judgment upon all nations and people. Amen. Please comment, Lord, wake me up, and share this with someone who needs to hear this warning. And if you want to understand Bible prophecy, study God's word, and prepare for the Lord's return, then join our online Bible study every night from 8 to 10 p.m. And you can message the WhatsApp number that's on your screen and type Bible study, or click the link that's in my bio.
We are all visitors to this time, this place. We are just passing through. Our purpose here is to observe, to learn, to grow, to love, and then we return home.
We have some really sad news out of Europe, where the death toll has risen to 2,129 plus deaths, according to Weather Fatalities and the data that they've compiled out of the various sources available. Now, this is 1,058 plus in France, 1,029 in Spain, 25 in the United Kingdom, 7 in the Netherlands, 7 in Poland, and 3 in Romania, which is a truly, truly tragic situation. As you know, there is a big aversion to air conditioning in Europe, despite the fact that many people die during these heat waves, and it is just a true tragedy that some of the most vulnerable people are the ones who are in these numbers, especially people who are elderly, disabled, etc. And I find it really, really terrible that they are not embracing AC. We have
Fucking hell, guys, NOAA has just escalated the 2026 El Nino outlook, and it's not looking good at all. Today, August the 13th, yesterday, NOAA updated has pushed the 2026 El Nino into dangerous territory. There is now a 95% chance of a very strong event during October through to December, and a 69% chance it exceeds every El Nino in the RNOI record since 1950. This is going to be historic. If you're thinking the heat waves we're seeing this summer are extreme, wait until you see what happens through winter. Subsurface Pacific heat anomalies have already reached 10 plus C. If this reaches the historic strength NOAA is now forecasting, parts of the world could face severe drought. We're seeing that in the UK right now. The UK is currently in drought conditions across the country. Destructive flooding, extreme heat, crop losses, and major disruption to seasonal rainfall. This is all potentially on the cards over the next few months, and we are already seeing the signs of that happening, as well as potential food crop damage across the whole of Europe. This El Nino event is potentially apocalyptic over the next 6 months, guys, to 12 months. Fucking hell, hold tight. Seriously, it's gonna get wilder.
Yep, temperatures just hit 183 degrees in China, and it's so hot that the water from the canals are evaporating. The ground is as hot as the temperature you cook meat at, and it's still going to get worse. People were terrified after Chinese authorities issued emergency warnings across the region as the ground was melting shoes and leaving severe burns on skin. And at this temperature, your organs start to shut down one by one, starting with your kidneys. And this same heat is now spreading across the country with no signs of stopping. Hanti reports show that at this temperature, your brain begins to swell inside your skull. Workers who've been outside are found paralyzed in their seat, unable to move, and people are collapsing on the street and not waking up the next morning. But it gets worse, as it's not just in China. The same heat is now in Europe, where over 5,000 people have not made it, 160 million Americans are under heat alert, and the spread is showing no signs of slowing down either.
Lakes and rivers have dried up, crops have been killed, factories have been closed, and this heatwave is still raging on. For perspective, this is the lakebed of China's largest freshwater source. 66 other rivers have dried up.
Apocalyptic scenes have broken out across the West Midlands after huge, fast-moving wildfires forced countless people to flee their burning homes. Yesterday afternoon, on the hottest day of the year, a massive 40-acre grass fire erupted near a Stourbridge golf course. Fueled by extreme heat, the inferno quickly spread, tearing straight through residential neighbourhoods and leaving extensive devastation. The West Midlands Fire Service faced extreme demand, deploying over 100 firefighters to the area. Multiple properties have been severely damaged, and tragic reports confirm that a child and 3 emergency personnel were rushed to the hospital. The chaos didn't stop there. Major incidents were also declared in Staffordshire and Warwickshire, with dozens of properties evacuated and major roads, including the M6, forced to close due to heavy smoke. Water supplies are also facing severe disruption. Authorities are urging all local residents to keep windows closed as emergency crews continue to battle these relentless blazes. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by this disaster. Stay safe. Drop your local updates in the comments.
Europe is literally baking right now, and the reason is one of the strangest weather patterns on the planet. Here's what's happening. Temperatures have climbed above 40 degrees Celsius across parts of Spain, France, Italy, and even the UK. Red alerts have been issued, schools have closed, lives have been lost, and the heat just won't go away. The reason is a rare weather pattern called the Omega Block. High above Earth, a powerful stream of fast-moving air known as the jet stream normally pushes weather systems from west to east, bringing cooler air in and moving hot air away. But this time, the jet stream has become stuck. It has bent into the shape of the Greek letter omega, trapping a huge dome of high pressure directly over Europe. On both sides, low-pressure systems act like walls, preventing the hot air from escaping. This heat dome keeps pulling scorching air from the Sahara Desert, forcing it downward where it becomes even hotter. With almost no wind and no fresh air moving in, the heat keeps building day after day. And here's the scary part. As long as this weather pattern stays locked in place, the trapped air continues to compress, making temperatures climb even higher until the Omega Block finally breaks.
Guys, scientists are currently saying that the Doomsday Glacier just started tearing itself apart, and the one ice shelf that's holding it back could snap off as early as this year. Everybody's obviously heard about the Doomsday Glacier. It's that massive glacier in Antarctica, and it's basically the cork on the entire West Antarctic ice sheet. Its actual name, though, is Thwaites, and it's roughly the size of Florida, so it's obviously a big deal. For thousands of years now, the entire thing has been propped up by an underwater mountain about 30 miles off the coast. host. Now, scientists are saying that the eastern ice shelf is cracking apart from the inside and the glacier is starting to slide off that mountain. They're saying that it's moving towards the ocean way faster than it was a few years ago, over a mile a year. And once that ice shelf wants to give out, it is the last natural break that we have, so there's nothing behind it to slow it down. This one glacier is already responsible for about 4% of all sea level rise on the entire planet. If the whole thing collapses, that is about 26 inches, and because it's the plug for the rest of that ice sheet, there's over 10 feet of sea level behind it. They've always known that this was coming, they just didn't think the break would give out this fast.
Brother, what is actually going on with the world? How have we gotten another earthquake? This just happened in Colombia. Look at how the ground shakes. I have never actually seen how an earthquake looks. This is me the very first time seeing how an earthquake actually looks. And look at how the buildings fall, brother. What is actually going on with the world? How is it possible that we've gotten so many earthquakes in the matter of maybe back-to-back months? First in Venezuela and now in Colombia. This isn't normal, bro. It's not normal to get this many earthquakes, bro. Something clearly has to be happening. And I know that I tend to talk a lot about football on this app, but at some point we have to stop and realize that everything is not about football, and we actually have to take a step back and self-reflect on what happens in the world, and self-reflect on ourselves, on our soul, on where we're gonna end up for eternity, brother, because at any point, any day could be our last. With so many things happening in today's world, there can't be a better time for us to preach the gospel, bro. There can't be a better time for us to look, this is what I do, but it doesn't matter. Jesus comes first, because at any moment, bro, any day could be our last. Any day. And if we spend more time of our day reflecting and giving time to other things and not enough to Jesus, then brother, what are you actually doing with your life? The most important thing is Jesus. My heart, my prayers, and my hope go to all the people in Colombia, to everybody who is suffering, and I sincerely hope and pray that you guys take that moment to self-reflect, look at these things that are actually happening out there in the world, realize that not everything is about football, and begin to pray. Spend some time with prayer, pray the rosary, go to church, go to adoration, go to
Last time we had an El Nino as strong as the one we're about to get, 50 million people died in 1877 to 1878. I'm meteorologist Todd Gross. That was 3% to 4% of the world's total population due to famine because of the drought, especially in Australia, China, and India. We are much more well-equipped to handle this now, but take a look at the projections. NOAA issued this today with a 97% chance that the El Nino is going to last into early next year. The projection is up to 4 degrees Celsius above normal, the strongest El Nino on record in modern time, exceeding 72, 73, 82, 83, 97, 98, and 15, 16. All those years, of course, had those very specific conditions where there was drought in those places like Australia. And let me show you what happened in the United States. So I did another report about the benefits from a super El Nino, such as the low amount of hurricanes in the Atlantic. But then we have to deal with all the rain that's going to fall in places that granted need it, but may get flooded out by later this winter and the spring, like the southeastern United States. Also talked about the drought that's expected for the upper Midwest into Canada and maybe even Alaska. We talked about the strong storms that may batter the southern part of California. That's a double-edged sword. That's bad in terms of mudslides. That's good in terms of the much-needed water for the southwestern United States. Now, there's a lot of misinformation going around about snowfall totals, for instance, in the Northeast. It's likely to be below normal, and that's not good for skiers. That's good for those trying to recover from last winter in the Northeast. And the low snowfall totals for the upper Midwest as well, and that may go all the way to British Columbia and Alberta, those ski areas also below normal, which would be yet another season that you didn't do so well. So I know, frustrating. In terms of drought, most likely would be the Ohio Valley and around Chicago. We'll see as we get closer to it if that shifts a little bit. There's other factors involved, but man, that was a terrible, terrible year in 1877 and 1878 globally, and hopefully we don't have a worldwide catastrophe that's as bad as that. As I said, now that we know it's coming, we have better irrigation, etc., we can take steps to try to mitigate the loss. Oh yeah, and in Colorado, there's no way you're having less snow than last winter. Just forget about it, even if it is mild. I'm meteorologist Todd Gross. What do you guys think about the upcoming Super El Nino?
You're telling me it's normal that New York was flooded the way it was flooded yesterday. It's either New York is sinking or that weather machine is broke. It was 93 degrees yesterday, and then New York got hit with some of the craziest rain I've ever seen. And I'm born and raised in New York. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
This is New York City underwater. We are underwater. Look at ours.
This ain't New York right now.
Flooded out.
This is going on New York right now.
They just making it worse, pushing the water.
We started off the day with some of our highest events, and then we end up with this. Y'all don't see that wrong with that? When have you seen New York like this? I grew up here. I've never seen New York like this. And they say New York not sinking. So I jumped down the rabbit hole, and they say, on average, the metropolitan area has subsided about 1.6 millimeters per year. Look at those floods. Look how much water that is. You don't think we're sinking? You don't think the number is higher than 1.6 millimeters per year? I'm gonna let y'all end off with this. It's like they're in the Grand Rapids. They're just getting off the back of a bus. Look how that water just took up. That's not crazy to you? Yeah, okay.